Welcome back, everybody, to the Crows of Judgment podcast. We don't stream here. This is a podcast. We are going to be on SoundCloud, and from now on, we'll just be doing podcasts 24/7 because a YouTuber who is slightly larger than me believes that I'm doing a podcast show. So welcome to the Crows of Judgment podcast. So tonight, we have a very fun episode. Now, I'm going to be honest, title is just a little bit clickbaity, but I heard people going on about commentary civil war. There's going to be a civil war within the commentary community. Chill. It seems like there was a bit of back and forth over some really just cringy shit from Swan. And look, I'm going to try to not give so many fucking hot takes tonight. Keep it to just fair criticisms all around, right? For everybody, for everybody. But I gotta say, I had this interesting interaction today. And look, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you know, I'm a shit poster. That's what I like to do. I'm very open about wanting to shit post. Okay. And I don't think anyone should blame me for wanting to shit post on Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, right? And you know, you take it seriously. What's wrong with you? Just embrace the chaotic, nasty nature of most people. It's great. It's fun, right? But let's. Okay, I gotta show this to you guys. I fucking loved it. So there's this tweet that came out today, right? And I follow this account because look, I have a waning interest in politics still. But I saw this, right? And okay, it's got 529,000 views. Okay, so let's just play it. I don't know if the audio is copyrighted, but like, you see it, right? So I saw that. And this person goes, you know, the comments here are very disappointing. It's pretty low to insult someone based off of how they look. Does it make you all feel good to be so rude? And so I immediately saw it, right? I changed my name to Crow of Rudeness and said, yes, absolutely. It absolutely does, right? Because I'm just being a shit poster. I'm not taking any of this shit seriously, right? But this led to Bonza, right? Quote tweeting me, right? Oh, did he delete it? Oh, Bonza, don't do that. Oh, did you block me? Bonza, did you block me? Because that'd be fucked up if you blocked me. Because now I gotta go into my goddamn profile, go tweet some replies, right? You bastard. Oh, you deleted all your tweets? Oh man, you suck. I was going to have so much fun tonight. Well, there you go. Oh, you didn't delete all your tweets. You just deleted some of them. Why? We're going to have a good time tonight, man. Anyways, it just led to some stupid shit. Okay. What the fuck, man? You deleted only... Either delete all or delete some. Ah, man. Okay. All right. So, look. It basically led to some stupid shit where he said that insulting someone based on their looks is like the lowest thing you can do, right? And I put like, you know, I can promise you that's not true. And he said, I mean, yeah, you could go for race or sexuality. I was talking about the lowest okay insult you can do. And he also said he was disappointed in me. So now he deleted this tweet, right? But he pulled up a tweet of Nicholas Diorio, right? Where someone had edited one of his like avatars or whatever, superimposed on an America First thing, and he called Diorio a cultist. So I put like, you know, just to chime in, calling someone a cultist because of a parody picture someone else edited is definitely lower than insulting someone's appearance, which led to this really funny back and forth. Because he went on about like the Capitol Hill riots, right? And how there was a terrorist insurrection and how he was justified by being just an absolute idiot. So I don't think he got the joke. And I hope you guys watching got the joke, but I felt like, bruh, as an Arab and an expert on terrorism, I can guarantee you that was just a bunch of drunk rednecks. Does anyone get the joke, right? I know I got like some really like boomer humor, but do you get what I meant by an expert on terrorism? Come on, come on. Is it just me? Am I the only one who you got it? Thank you. Thank you. I was just trying to get a chuckle out of the guy. I was just trying to get like a little teensy weensy laugh, and I got nothing. I got nothing. It just turned into this stupid little shit show back and forth, right? But look, he went on to me about my insensitivity, right? And how I was very naive, and I was just like, dude, I've seen kamikaze planes and people being burned alive in cages, right? So like, I feel like tweaking over rednecks live streaming themselves, being let into a building and drunk dial the POTUS, like just it doesn't faze me. And he called me a cultist. He called me a cultist, in fairness, right? He called me a cultist because I didn't care that 5 people lost their lives. And I was like, you know, there's 30 to like 50,000 rioters, right? 5 people lost their lives. 4 of them were rioters. And I'm like, dude, why are you so upset? Like, you just called them all terrorists and 4 of them got, like, it seems like you'd be kind of happy. I'm pretty happy when terrorists lose their lives. But yeah. Okay, so that's my hot take, right? And he goes like, I'm so glad I didn't go onto your podcast. Your deflection and minimalization of these terrorists is insulting. It's like, dude, if they're terrorists, why are you weeping? Watch out, Crow. He's passing with a 3.0 GPA. Oh man, dude, but seriously, right? Seriously, am I the only one? Am I the only one who sits there going like, if I would like, you know, anyways, we're kind of a Karen-free zone, so it's probably wouldn't have worked out. But like, I'm sitting going like, active, you know, if there's 30 to 50,000 people that you are calling active terrorists in the Capitol Hill riots, 5 of them die, or sorry, 5 people die, and 4 are rioters. Kind of seems like that's I had a huge missed opportunity because I really should have just said it sounded like Capitol Hill was mostly peaceful. But look. He says it was quite cute. I couldn't find any insults. I mean, I thought I was like just bopping the guy the entire time. So I called him Susan, right? I called him Susan, and he said something about Edge. I was like, dude, it's a reference. It's a reference to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. Like, nobody gets my jokes. Nobody gets my references. I was very upset. I was very, very upset. I was like, why? Why? But yeah, there you go. And he deletes like the majority of the tweets. It's so dumb. Like, dude, we had this back and forth. You only kept up the ones you thought made you look good? Bro, that's an even bigger L than you were taking in those back and forths, man. What the fuck? Like really? That's even worse than the back and forth we were having. Oh man, that's sad. Yeah, he got really upset about the minor in psychology. He deleted this tweet too. I told him like, dude, you're gonna be crushed by debt. Realizing that the smarter you think you are, the dumber you actually appear. Being surrounded by people that cringe at the sound of your voice, almost slowly realizing that you never mattered to anyone and you never will. Oh man, I am a mean person. I am a very mean person. But look, what do you want me to say, right? We're having a back and forth. You're getting pissed off and upset because I made fun of someone's appearance on Twitter, right? Like, believe me, not even going into racist or sexual stuff or anything. That's not even close to the lowest I can get. That's not. I promise you. I can definitely dig deeper. I grew up in a trailer park for a little bit, and then the mean streets of the Bay Area, which I mean really sounds wimpy when you think about it. But I spent some time in Oakland. Don't worry, I can guarantee you I can get a hell of a lot lower than that. Look, Crow has a filter. That's why Or is there. You're not that mean. No, come on. I'm a mean person. 200 IQ. A minor in psychology is useless. No, but guys, he's got a 3.0 GPA and he's a med student. Look, I gotta say, right? So he told me, it's one of the tweets he deleted, that I was gonna have a very hard time finding a job with my Twitter timeline. And I was like, first off, I could easily take that as a threat, sir. Are you planning to cancel me? Right? Take my job away from me? Good luck. But I've never liked people try to flex with all their shit. So let's be very clear, right? 3.0 GPA is useless if you can't think consistent argument. Yeah, pretty much. Sounds like he's just a flip-flopper. I don't know. That's why you have two twatters. That's a good point. But look, if you've got to flex something that minor, I'm in med school. Like, dude, you're going to be like fucking crushed by debt, right? And I do hope for the best for the guy, right? I hope for the best for the guy. But I've got to say, if you're tweaking that hard on some shit on Twitter, I don't think that's going to be a very healthy life for you, really, because look, I mean, being in medicine can be pretty damn stressful. It's got to be a hell of a lot more stressful than Twitter is. You can't even handle that. But more to the point, in terms of like flexing on you and shit about my job, I've been gainfully employed since I was 18. I did not go to college, and I have a very beautiful wife, a very nice house, 2 cars, some lovely cats. We're going to get a dog. It's beautiful. It's fun, right? And I'm not really concerned about tomorrow like this kid is. So I'm going like, dude, you want me to flex on you? I can fucking flex on you. So that was my fun little back and forth with Bonza. And Bonza, if you see this, because I'll probably upload this as its own separate little clip, no hard feelings, no ill will. Calm the fuck down when you're on Twitter. Don't come at me like an idiot. And please, if you're going to start deleting selected tweets to try to make yourself seem like not so much of an idiot, that only makes you look worse, you dumbass. Just delete it all at this point. Yo, Crow, I'm here now, and there's a war going on now. Yep. Open up a hookah shop. Maybe open up a smoke shop, but I'm more than like, I want to open up a hookah lounge one day. That seems more like right up my alley. Better IG just never get on Twitter. Tanner is a smart individual. Everybody listen to Tanner. Do not get onto Twitter. So I want to talk about something that's a little bit more important to me right now. And it's about a back and forth that's been going on between Tipster and Steve DeLive. Now, Steve, I'm going to be honest, right? He put out this tweet. I don't have it pulled up, right? He put out this tweet, and, Augie and Tipster both criticized him for it, right? And I watched Augie live when he was criticizing Steve, and I disagreed with some of what he was saying. I pointed out where he had some information incorrect, but for the most part, it's his opinion, right? At one point, he says Steve DeLive will always be a loser. I'm like, well, that's your opinion. I could be in here arguing with the he's not a loser. But it's Steve's own battle to fight, right? And Steve's a grown man, and he can handle criticism. He can fucking take it on the chin, and he can respond to it. And I think he does a good job at it, right? But when Augie was doing his stream, I said, well, it's a pretty good stream, right? I disagreed, but for the most part, a lot of it's just opinion. It's how you feel about the guy, and it's up to Steve to respond to it. Now, with Tipster, I thought everything just was really stupid. And there's like a 30-minute video he did about Edwin generation, which is where this whole thing starts being canceled. And it relates to this tweet by Deity, right? Talking about this really stupid shirt that Edwin wore. Now, I'm gonna give you the best hot take that I got, and it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Okay. At the end of the day, Sen, if you want on, I'll send you a link. Actually, you know what? I'll send you a link anyways. Let me. Oh, almost fucked that one up. Hookahing. Got to be careful when I hookah. Let's see here. There you go, Sen. I sent you a link if you want to join. All right, so let's go back. Oop. There we go. There we go. You can tell what kind of show it's going to be tonight. Okay. So, look, I've been clear. I don't really agree with a lot of the things Deity has been saying. I don't really agree with constantly going through Edwin's leaked DMs. And I've already said I feel stupid for getting involved in someone else's drama on this shit, right? And I stand by that. What I did, just stupid, pisses me off that I got involved in it, right? Because it's clearly someone else's vendetta. I still think the DMs showed some really telling things from Stephen A. Sarch. I think Edwin comes across looking kind of bad, but at the end of the day, a lot of it can be excused away. It's just really up to people to respond to their own drama. But other people were sent a ton more DMs. It's something I warned Edwin and others that was going to happen. And as you can see here, Deity really hasn't stopped on it. So he pointed out like this shirt, the last Jew of Venitza. I love history. I've studied a lot of World War I, World War II. No joke. Didn't know anything about this famous photo, right? I think it's a weird argument. I think it is. But Tipster, like, trying to defend Edwin wearing the shirt, I thought was like the dumbest thing you could possibly do, right? Because look, Edwin could just say, look, I didn't really know it was that bad. I didn't know what it was, yada, yada, yada. And instead, we have Tipster going on to like defend the shirt as being from like a popular band. And I've looked up the band that this shirt is from. And essentially the most well-known thing that they're known for is doing controversial shit, like putting images like this onto their damn shirts, right? So I was like, dude, come on. Then, he went on to talk about how the shirt was about like anti-war. And let me give you a brief history of World War II. The Holocaust was not was not a result of the war. The Holocaust was going on before the war. It was part of, Hitler's final solution, right? Bad stuff, really bad stuff. And while the United States certainly did not get involved because they were, righteous. They got involved because of Pearl Harbor and, Germany sending letters to Mexico telling them to attack us, right? That's actually why we got involved. But the Holocaust was going on before this, right? The Holocaust was not a result of the war. The Holocaust was a lot of people's reasons for fighting in the war to stop it. So like, if you're going to call it an anti-war t-shirt, I mean, run the logical train of thought there. It's kind of like you're saying... I'm not even gonna say it because I don't want someone to like take me out of context, like these idiots do, right? But Steve had quote tweeted this with a couple select images from Edwin's Twitter account saying more anti-Semitic fun times. Okay, I don't think that was very smart. I don't. However, you could have easily gotten the context if you had just looked at Deity's replies, because Steve DeLive is right here. And I'm going to show you the replies here in just a second, right? They are real questions, but guys, everyone used to drop the N-bomb. Doesn't mean Edwin's racist. There you go. Maybe he should have thought of this before accusing Dasha of being anti-Semitic. So yeah, Steve was basically pointing out that, hey, look, guys, Edwin is accused of other people being anti-Semites. This doesn't make an anti-Semite, but he's done it to other people in the past, right? So he put that quote tweet out with all those select texts. I could understand if you like only saw the quote tweet, right? If you had only seen the quote tweet and there was nothing from Deity, right? And you didn't look at these replies, even though, in terms of replies to the tweets, it's got 27 now, but at the time didn't have very many until it was pointed out by a bunch of people. It was pretty easy to see Steve DeLive's comment to Deity being right here. More to the point, they showed this this image from Steve, and like it's literally in the certainly in the replies, right? And I'm just like, dude. So as you can see, Steven said that. Now, I know Augie had put out this statement like, hey, if you're gonna like have issues with anti-Semitic jokes, you cannot go around using the alphabet people slur word. I go like, I disagree. I disagree. Like some people can be okay with some things, not okay with other things. But also, like Steve clearly was not taking issues with the jokes, which I didn't even think were anti-Semitic to begin with. It was more of the situation of, Edwin had, lambasted this one person. And if you look up Edwin's Generation and Dasha, anti-Semite on YouTube, or just Edwin's Generation Dasha, you'll find his video from like 2 years ago accusing Dasha of being an anti-Semite, for the jokes that they were sending. That's what Steve's point was. It came across really poorly. That's on him, right? Steve should have worded it better. Steve should have explained the context and not just left it up to people to look for themselves, because you see exactly what happened, right? Even though it's pretty clear right here that he's saying he's not a racist and maybe he shouldn't accuse other people being anti-Semites if he doesn't want stuff like this thrown in his face. Now, I put this tweet out to Tipster and was like, I don't know if I was instantly blocked. I just know like the very next day I got blocked. But Tipster put a block wall up on Steve, okay? And just has been ranting about Steve DeLive for quite some time. Okay. And again, it's on Steve to defend himself, right? However, just like when Tipster, just like when Augie do videos to defend their friend, I've got to talk about my friend Steve and defend him over things I think are grossly unfair. And so I saw this image and it actually kind of pissed me off, right? Because Tipster has not been able to shut up about Steve for, I want to say like a week now, right? And as you can see here, he's talking about Steve's girlfriend now, right? She's the one basically shitting on Azaria Sin for the degree incident. So both him and his girlfriend are pure concentrated scum. Got it. I responded, my dude, your creepy ass mod is the one who constantly brings it up and tells everyone I doxed her. So Azaria Sin is an idiot. She's also a mod of Tipster. She went ahead and was in this Twitter thread with RSN, calling RSN a rapist, right? And when RSN goes like, look, the police investigate, they said nothing happened. This girl has said nothing happened. This girl has asked people to stop saying it. This girl tweets her diploma at RSN, and I am in the thread at the time where she calls him Rape Stream News, and I see it. I'm like, this girl is so fucking dumb, and I showed it on my stream because I was like, this girl's a fucking idiot, right? Not because she showed not because like she showed personal information or diploma. At the time, I didn't think that she wanted that stuff to be private, given there was like 10 people in this thread, and one of them she's calling a fucking rapist. But she hits me up after the stream. She asked me to take it down, right? I told her I would censor it. Prior to the stream the next day, censored the images. And even though I did exactly that, right? Even though I contacted her in the morning when the stream wasn't available for me to do anything with, even though when I got home, I immediately went ahead and censored the image, even though I have done, right, exactly what this girl asked me to do, she continued to tell everybody, and to this day continues to tell everybody, that I actively doxed her. So, Steve's girlfriend was talking about Azaria Sin because she constantly tells people I doxed her, and Tipster framed that as, oh, they're shitting on her for the degree incident. Now, I know Tipster is fully aware of what went on there because he's been told by other people exactly what occurred. And he uses it to go ahead and attack Steve's girlfriend, saying that she's pure concentrated scum. Okay. All I said, right? And it's really on Tipster. If he wants to keep a block wall up on Steve, fine. Right? I have no issues with that. Block people if you don't want to engage with them, right? But what's been happening for roughly a week is Tipster's got a block wall up on Steve. Steve or Steve's girlfriend will say something about Tipster. Then Tipster will see the image, tweet about them. Then they'll see that. They'll take that image, they'll tweet about him, and they've just been going back and forth with this stupid, irrelevant block wall up. I'm like, either just shut the fuck up, right? Or just have a conversation with the guy. Because I feel like you're pulling a lot of shit out of your ass. You're ranting on Twitter like an idiot, okay? And look, you can call Steve disingenuous and a liar, right? But here, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. I'm gonna call you disingenuous and a liar, right? Because this is your video about Edwin being canceled, right? And again, this is not me saying well, sorry, wrong one. This is not me saying that I hate Tipster or anything like that, right? I'm simply saying like I just find this whole thing to be really stupid. Okay, and I'm urging these two people to actually have a conversation with each other and try to work their shit out. But here,
and kind of understand that maybe they read into this.
Just listen to the whole thing in
something that isn't actually there, and I can respect them for that. But not only that, but when they did their coverage of this, they also offered Edwin the opportunity to come on their show and share his side of things. Now, he didn't take that opportunity, which is his choice, obviously. He's not obligated to come on their show. But I can have a lot of respect for the fact that they can admit that maybe they were wrong in regards to what was actually being discussed in these DMs. But on top of that, they were willing to give him the opportunity to share his side. Now, do I still think it's pretty disgusting and messed up that they would discuss these private DMs on their show? Absolutely. And I've expressed as much to them. So this shouldn't be any surprise to them after they watch this video and they see that, because I really do take a lot of issue with the fact that people are basically exposing his private conversations and invading on his privacy by taking a look at these DMs. I think that's
okay. So obviously we can bring up the general criticism that commentary really wouldn't exist without leaked DMs, right? Because DMs get leaked all the time. Okay. I want to play that clip in full so you can see there's no ill will towards Tipster, right? He said some nice things about us, right? But this is one thing I wanted to highlight. This is actually from our stream from that night, okay? And let me pull it up right here. So what you're seeing on the screen here, and let me just pull this up, right? And so this is him discussing fucking Edwin's DMs with people, talking about how they're not that bad, and then telling people to go watch our fucking stream. Like literally, I'm like, dude, I can call you a disingenuous liar, right? Because you upload a 30-minute video, and in that video you criticize people for going over these criticized us for going over leaked DMs, talking about how you found it disgusting, and nobody should be watching this, right? And it's wrong and everything. And you're literally telling people to go watch our stream that same night. Now, could opinions change? Absolutely, right? But I mean, like, look, if you want to criticize them, like, point out the things where you can actually criticize them for. Don't make shit up. Don't put a fucking block wall up and just rant about the guy for fucking weeks. He's my buddy. I'm going to defend him when I think you're going hard at him for no fucking reason, right? I understand that you take issues with him and the things he said about Edwin. Look, I'm not all on board with the things that he's criticized Edwin for. But I don't think his criticism's completely out of left field. I also think that you're being kind of stupid with your defense of Edwin. Right? Like, dude, let's be honest. The shirt is stupid to fucking wear. Most adults know not to do that shit. Did Edwin make a mistake? Yeah. Don't try to justify the shirt as being not that fucking bad. It's pretty damn bad. Is it a game ender? Is it end of the world? Is it proof that Edwin's an anti-Semite? Absolutely not. All I'm asking, right? All I'm asking, talk with Steve, right? Try to sort your shit out. Try to work it out. Because I gotta admit, it's so annoying watching this fucking block wall be put up and you two just going back and forth at each other through a block wall for like a week now. Now, Steve DeLive's fucking Twitter account's been suspended. You're still bitching about him and his girlfriend. I'm like, dude, the fuck? The fuck? Without leaked DMs, I wouldn't know the reason why my parents are divorced. But according to them, small commentary channels are idiots and don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I think that's a terrible argument. And it's actually going to be something I bring up because we're going to move into the next segment here in a second. But at Crow, show Max's thumbnail. What thumbnail? Hold on, Max. Where are you? Hey, Max, don't be a dick. My wife bought me that sweater. Okay? My wife bought me that sweater, and she's the only woman that I will simp for. I'm supposed to show your thumbnail, Max. Where is it? Where's your thumbnail? I keep looking at Crow from the video and getting confused why I hear him but don't see him talking. All right, I'm taking it off the screen. Don't worry, I'm taking it off the screen. There you go, guys. There you go. It's a pink Adidas sweater, okay? Because I'm comfortable with my masculinity. Not at all because my wife bought it for me. I'd be very upset if I didn't wear it. I'm wearing it. Don't make Crow be like the quarter. What do you mean? Or where are you? Where are you? You know we can't do the show without you. Okay, I'll pull it up right now. Give me a second. Actually, I got to go into Discord anyways because the next part involves a Discord chat with A-Star. Okay, well, actually, that's kind of perfect for the stream. Let's see. Let me switch this over. Okay. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you kind of understand where I'm coming from with this, right? I don't have hatred towards Tipster. I don't have ill will towards him or anything of that nature, right? I love my buddy Steve, okay? I think he's made a couple mistakes in how he handled things. But at the end of the day, it is kind of at the point where I'm getting pissed off seeing people take these shots that I don't think are fair at all. They won't actually talk to the guy, right? And they're pulling him out of context, right? They're beating him over the fucking head with stupid shit, and they've got a block wall up while they rant about him for a fucking week. I mean, he's my buddy. Obviously, if he wasn't my buddy, I probably would not care as much. But I know him, right? I pointed out where, they've taken him out of context, right? Accusing him of trying to cancel Edwin and shit like that. And I point out, like, dude, everyone is a little hypocritical, okay? I showed you there, like, I've heard Tipster say Steve is completely disingenuous and dishonest and all this shit, right? I mean, when you talk about how his girlfriend is, disgusting scum and shit like that, because she talks about the disgusting, scummy thing that your mod did to me that you are very well aware of, that she's actively said in your own server, right? I could throw that in your face. I could throw in your face, you're telling everyone how disgusting it is that we read through those DMs. And look, I feel bad about it. I told Edwin, if you want me to take down the stream, I'll actually take it down, right? And no ill will. Right? I'm not going to make a big deal about it. He tells me that he wants that stream to go down. I have no issues with it at all. Okay? But you're going on about how disgusting it is and how people are reading through this private shit and everything. And literally that night, you were telling people to go watch the stream. Which, thank you. Thank you for the free plug and everything. But, be honest. Okay? Be honest. Don't take this moralistic high ground on people. And just have a conversation with Steve because, like, he's not the fucking devil. He's not, right? Like, I mean, and I've never gotten the argument of, well, they're dishonest and disingenuous, so I will not have a conversation with this person. I'm like, dude, I think Anisian is the most dishonest and disingenuous person that I've ever talked to on this platform, right? And when he popped into my chat, right, and wanted to come on, I had him on. And I ripped him a fucking new one. I called him a goddamn prostitute. I went at him for like an hour and a half, pointing out the parts where he was being completely disingenuous and completely dishonest, right? Because here's the thing. If someone is dishonest and disingenuous, it's going to come across live. It's going to come across while you're speaking to them. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. So if you really feel like he's this dishonest and disingenuous, just talk to him, right? You don't want to do it on your channel. I can't force you to put something on your channel. Just hop into a Discord call, see exactly where you two disagree, and just try to work your shit out. But like, I don't know, man. He's not the worst person in the world. He's clearly not trying to call out. Well, I mean, no, let me take that back. He's clearly trying to call out Edwin 100%, but he's not trying to cancel Edwin, right? He's not trying to portray that Edwin is an anti-Semite or racist. He's even said, like, plenty of people drop the N-bomb, and that doesn't make them racist. So Edwin's not racist because of a stupid shirt. What is this? Crow Bro calling Onion a prostitute is insulting to prostitutes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You and Augie did it respectfully. Deity was being ridiculous, and I think that got under her skin rightfully. Yeah, look, I wanted to Deity stream because he invited me on and everything after we did our stream, and I didn't realize just how bad the blood was between Deity and Edwin. So like in the future, I'm going to be a little bit more careful before I agree to do a live stream with somebody, just so that I don't, because normally I'm okay just accepting anyone's invite, but I didn't realize how fucking bad the blood was there. And again, that's on me. That's on me. But I like talking to people. I love talking to people. So it's kind of one of my flaws. What's this? Thanks for matching me in Deity stream. Oh, no worries. What's this? I recommend watching watching what? Who's the commentary nerd crew? Yeah, I mean, check out Steve's video on it. And the thing is, look, as much as I've said about Tipster's video on the subject, watch what he had to say, right? Because maybe you're going to disagree with everything I just said. Watch everything, get your own opinion. Watch Steve's response to this. Watch Tipster's, takedown of everybody that's involved in this. I completely agree on certain aspects of Tipster's own video. It's just there are some parts I can point out. Even Tipster's being hypocritical, right? And I'm not going to sit there and say, well, that makes you dishonest and disingenuous. I could, right? I could say that because on one hand, you're talking about how disgusting it is and how nobody should be doing it. On the other hand, that very night, you were telling people to go watch our stream. I mean, come on. Come on. Let's try to be fucking adults and everything. Let's try to be reasonable people. I've had I've had moments where I think a while back when I went on Augie's stream, everybody thought it was just going to be a fucking shit show, right? I mean, by shit show, we were just going to be attacking each other. I went on there. I had a polite conversation with everybody there. I said, hey, I think we're going to agree more than we disagree. And at the time, I wasn't even expecting that many people to be on the stream with Augie. I honestly thought it was just going to be me and Augie talking on my channel at the time because I misunderstood entirely. But when I was there, it wasn't, I don't try to fight with people. And the thing is, as much as you want to say Steve is dishonest and disingenuous and will fucking fight people and all this shit, if you talk to him, he's pretty damn reasonable. And he'll even admit where he thinks he's made a mistake, right? And I think that if he talked with Edwin, you'd find that the two of them actually have a pretty polite conversation, right? The only person, to be fair, that I seen Steve absolutely crucify was Narrator. And Narrator is doing shit with minors, right? Edwin isn't doing anything like that. Tipster's not doing anything like that. So you guys are okay. unless something comes up with kids, don't get me wrong. Then your fucking head's on my fucking wall. But otherwise, you guys are cool, right? And look, Tipster, if you want to keep me blocked because I just said have a fucking conversation with the guy, feel free to, right? Feel free to. That's fine. But honestly, before you block me, I saw you getting into all these fights with people on Twitter. I don't know what that's about. I don't. But It's not that healthy. It's not that healthy. Rev, I just saw what you said about Tipster. What did Rev say about Tipster? It better not have been bad. Tipster is a bigger version of God damn it. Well, I know my audience at least. I know my audience at least.
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. What's up, dude?
I don't know, but there's a weird act going on.
What are you talking about today? You're talking about the tipster stuff or the Bonza stuff?
Oh, I talked about the Bonza stuff briefly. If you want to touch up on it, feel free.
Oh, so I saw this psych minor or something getting into an argument with you. I thought this was a troll for the longest time because there's no way, like, I mean, I thought Bonzo was level-headed and all that shit, right? So I didn't think he was gonna go all, like, crazy on you over, what was it? Just like a disagreement or something?
I made fun of some people because of that.
I don't know. He just fucking overreacted. He's been overreacting a lot lately. He had that drama with Griffin, right? Where he was like, Griffin said this about me, yada yada yada, which I know he was just doing to gain clout because there was no Griffin did not go hard on this guy at all. Like he over exaggerated everything, and I get it. I know why he did it, so I didn't say anything about it. He's a small creator. He wants to try to make it cool. But this dude is having like a legit mental breakdown. Like later on, he's like freaking out that people.
Oh, okay. I heard a little bit about this, but you got to explain to me what the whole situation is between Bonza and Griffin Gaming.
Okay, so from where I understand, Griffin saw one of his videos. I don't know. I think that Bonza made a video on Griffin first, and he did the usual Griffin is a leafy clone, blah blah blah. And so I guess Griffin just reacted to it, and so Bonza took that as an attack on him or something, and so he did the thing where he like, you know how YouTubers will be like, they will hyper escalate a situation and make it seem like they got like max attention from this big creator in the most negative light in order to boost up their numbers or like to look better than they actually do. So that's what Bonza did, right? And I'm like, that's why I'm like, well, you're doing it, and like that's part of the game in a way. Go for it. I don't care. But then he started overdoing it over and over again. So he was like, "Oh, Griffin called me like a skinhead and this and that," and I'm like,
no way.
Yeah, and then he started getting on like the victim side of things, like starting to kind of make Griffin look like, worse than He started like taking it to a level where it's like, okay, buddy, calm down there, and it got even worse because there were like rumors that he started deleting comments that disagreed with him. There was a video made on him that criticized him for shit and was basically pointing out Bonza won't confront you because he's not good at arguing basically. And then there were other rumblings that I heard that he took down videos or something, or he took down the video criticizing him or some shit like that, and something about him doing things in Discord servers like ops or whatever with other people, and people just kind of got fed up with him as well. So he ended up taking down all the Griffin videos eventually. I saw Tipster actually at him at one point on Twitter before the tweet was deleted, and Tipster was like, "Well, you like to give criticism to other people, but you don't seem to like to take it or whatever." And then he told him to go into his DM. So I guess they resolved all that. But I just took it as, well, Tipster just owned this kid as well. This is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
And right now he's getting owned by Augie and them. So that's even like, this kid has been taking a lot of L's lately and not a lot of W's.
Well, I was like paying attention to the stream, right? Did he go on there just recently?
I mean, they were saying that Bonza wanted on, and Augie was like, "Well, at me if you actually want to come on." I didn't end up seeing him come on. I had to take a call, so I was gone for a long time. When I came back, he wasn't there, and I don't think he showed up because it would have been very funny. But they were going over his video.
I wanted to see him on that stream because I was going to super chat Augie.
Yeah.
It's like, can you give this to Bonza for his college debt?
Oh my god. Yeah, he got so pissed off about that, dude. Like, it's insane how fucking pissed off this guy is getting, right? And then he tries to play it off like, oh no, I never got mad. Crow's the one that got mad, lol. I'm like, no, dude, you got mad. And everybody saw it. Calm down. Like, there was even a comment on one of his community posts, right? They're like, bro, you were not cut out to be a YouTuber. And I completely understand that comment. Because he's not handling it well. Like, he's not handling this drama well, you know? He's just fucking freaking out. He's like, oh no, well, fuck you guys. I don't need you guys. Get out of here. And I'm like, bro, you obviously do care. Like, come on.
Well, and you know, I don't want anyone to take this as like an attack on. Actually, you probably will. Whatever. Look, he started up his channel really recently, and his biggest video was, you know, Turkey Tom just give a response. Right, 6 minutes long. It's got 96,000 views, and he gained like a massive sub boost. Right. Like, just blew it up. You hit the algorithm at the right time. Props to him, right? You know, obviously, when you do that, it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But that led to him just, you know, gaining a lot of traction. He suddenly got a bunch of subscribers. His name's out there. And, like, immediately he was just being attacked by people, right? Because he said some really dumb shit. Then he did, you know, the Captain Zach video, right? 155,000 views. Again, picked up on the trend right at the right time. 4-minute video. Great, right? I'm not like dissing the guy for the way that he uploads, but he's got like 15 videos. He's already got 5,000 subs. Like, good for him. But I can understand why, you know, you suddenly gained a bunch of traction. Your video's got a lot of views on it, and you don't actually know how to handle people responding to you or people giving you criticism, especially not bigger names. I can get that, right? But if you can't fucking handle it, don't engage in it. Like, seriously, don't engage in it.
Like,
Stop trying to like pick fights with people.
I mean, he if you're gonna start a fight with someone, you gotta expect them to shoot back at you. If you know, I mean, it's not like they're just gonna take it. You know, some people might take it, right? Other people just like, oh wow, word, you want that? All right, I'll give you the smoke. But he can't handle it. I mean, he's not good at confrontation, obviously.
Well, I mean, the other thing I'm going to say, if you want to be a pussy bitch and like fucking take shots at larger names and everything, because it's going to give you clout and shit, and then not respond to it, like that's a way forward too, right? But what I can't get is like why you wanted to start drama with me on fucking Twitter, right? Like, because there's nothing you have to fucking gain from that, and I will absolutely fucking crucify you.
Yeah. So like, yeah, like if you take shots at bigger YouTubers, like, you know, show up, like, you know, like with me and you, we took like shots at Augie, and then when we showed up on RFC, or whatever, right? And it wasn't a bloodbath or anything, because surprisingly, and I know people always want to like, well, they'd stop, but normally they'd be like, oh, well, you guys didn't have a good showing on them. You guys didn't go out. I'm like, bro, did we actually need to? Because like low key, actually high key, they were like more respectful than I was like expecting. Like even to me, and I'm like, literally, the Oreo explained his points pretty fucking well, right? He didn't scream throughout the whole thing or anything. So it's like I mean, obviously, I know why they wanted, you know, a bloodbath, because, you know, entertainment or whatever, but like that's just not me. If you're gonna be fucking respectful about shit, then there's no reason for me to go at you like in a disrespectful fashion. That's just the bottom line.
Well, true. It's like when I went on there, I said like my only main criticism of Augie is like he's pretty immature and shit, right? But he owned it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, what am I gonna say? No, you're supposed to be offended. It's stupid shit at that point. But it's like you said, it was a good conversation, right? Everyone's pretty respectful with each other.
Surprisingly,
I was surprised because, like, look, if they had wanted to, there was like what 5 different people on the podcast at the time, 6, right? If they wanted to, they could have just fucking kept going at me, and I would have never been able to respond to it, right?
Yep.
I actually had a lot more respect for them after that interaction. Right. But yeah, I highlight this comment by Aura. Don't engage the lull. Good one, Crow. I mean, here's the thing, though. I've never shied away from confrontation with people. Like, Sen, you remember this
Yeah.
shit that went back and forth between us in the past, right?
Yeah.
Did I ever take issues and go like, well, this guy's got a bunch of subs, I better not say shit to him? Or did I just fucking go for your
No.
throat?
I know some people that did, but you didn't, so that's cool.
We're good now, right?
Oh, hell yeah. We're good.
Dude, thinking back on that shit, right? It's actually funny.
Yeah. It was
But
good time.
that's the thing, right? Like, I've never had, look, maybe it's because I'm a middle child, right? And I'm just used to fucking shit all the time. Maybe it's because of that, right? But I've never had an issue being like confronting people, right? I've never that's half the problem. Jesus, Aura, leave me alone. I've never taken an issue with like getting into those confrontations with people. And the thing is, like, I don't get tweaked out if I'm talking to someone who's larger than me and my tweets get ratioed or something like that. That doesn't bother me, right? Because at the end of the day, if I think I'm right, I'm going to push forward, right? If I think I'm wrong, I'll admit to being wrong. I'm not going to sit there and let like a fucking large group of people, insult me and everything and let that get to me. And if it gets to you, right, disengage and stop partaking in that shit. If you can't handle it, walk away. It's okay. There's nothing wrong about that. It's actually pretty mature. It's a pretty mature thing to do. I said middle child syndrome night. Said, are you an only child?
No, I have 4 brothers. So, yeah.
Are they older?
Yes.
Explains so fucking much about you.
I know, right? Dude, it was like, it's like about the ratio thing, yeah, I was getting ratio for the longest time because of takes. And like, I mean, it didn't, like, I think it got to me more like a year ago or so. But then after a while, it just became one of those things where it's like, all right, people like basically believe what they want to believe, especially like even to this day, it's like, whatever, that's just part of the game, right? That's how it's gonna be. So people believe what they want to believe, people use what they can use, but at the end of the day, there will still be those people that are like, have a brain cell left and just like, because you can character attack all you want, but like, can you actually attack the argument? Can you actually rebuttal counter argument? And usually people can't. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem with a lot of people. Like, we're because bringing up John Swan and everything. Look, here's the thing. Originally, I was gonna like bring up a bunch of these tweets. That leaker guy sent me like a huge tweet archive between John Swan and Diorio. I was like, I don't need to do that because here's the thing. The two of them had a back and forth. They've made peace with each other. Yeah. Diorio deleted the tweets. What am I supposed to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think the criticism of John Swan and A-Star still stands. Hey, Alpha Rust, how you doing, buddy? I think the criticism of A-Star and John Swan still stands, right? And one of the things, I'll just give you the breakdown, right? And we're going to have this screen pulled up, so enjoy Max Zorin's beautiful thumbnail, right? But essentially what happened was A-Star put out this thread, and we have a video uploaded going over it, right? It's, I don't think very well done, okay? In the sense that, while I agree with A-Star's interpretation of events, while I do feel that he is correct, he is being melodramatic to a pretty significant degree. And he makes some statements in there that he literally cannot back up, because it really comes down to you need a statement from someone or you need like a text showing it, right?
Mm.
And he doesn't have that, because the two individuals would be Gene and Chris Hansen, okay?
Okay.
But he starts off his Twitter thread basically saying, never would I have thought that the great predator hunter would be my own personal predator, right? And look, well, the majority of that thread, if you read through the entire thing, clearly he is not implying like a Me Too situation. That is, in fact, how most people are going to look at that original, that first opening tweet, right? Yeah. Without reading the rest of it. And I would have actually respected A-Star a lot if he had just said, it's very eye-catching. I want a bunch of people to pay attention to it. But I had this back and forth with him in Discord. It wasn't bad or anything. I reached out to him for comment. I'm going to read the things that he had sent to me because we discussed doing that and everything. But he went on to talk about how, well, it's because Chris Hansen has been like a child predator catcher, and he's also busted like financial predators, and it meets the definition of predator. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna tell me that you use the term predator because Chris Hansen is a well-known predator catcher, fine. But everybody, not everybody, the vast majority of people that are aware of Chris Hansen only know him from To Catch a Predator, which was not about catching financial predators.
Yeah, I get that. Shit. I mean, I can see his thing, right? But that's like, at a glance, that would also, given like how things happen on the internet too, and how it's usually like the pedophile thing happening all over the place, then yeah, I can see how their first thought will be, oh, you mean sexually, right? Okay, gotcha. It wouldn't be anything else right off the bat.
No, and that's basically the issue, right? That's basically the issue. Now, I'm going to read through, because I messaged him to talk to him about this, right? Okay. He goes, I caught a bit of the stream, and I found it to be mostly supported with some criticism mixed in, which is true. This is, people probably want a bloodbath from me, right? And I'm not there. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody. Like, I understand, like, okay, let me say this before I read this. I understand that both John Swan and A-Star are dealing with a significant amount of pressure and stress related to what's been going on with the doxing and the attacks by Gene. My main criticism is the optics, how it looks, and the fact that I think that they're severely overplaying their hand and giving Chris Hansen ammunition to largely discredit the things that they are saying. And that's even if he feels the need to respond to it, which I'll be honest with you, I don't think you presented enough to where he's pushed into a corner and needs to respond. And I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But let me keep reading his initial response to me. There are a few things I do want to clarify. I didn't ever call myself a survivor because what I endured isn't something I constitute as accurate for that kind of experience. What I endured was predatory and ruthless in every sense of the definition when it comes to exploiting and targeting someone. In your stream, you claim that I compared myself to Anisian survivors when that never happened in the thread. I can understand if you're making the comparison, but I didn't. So I'm going to apologize. What I went through is simply not apples to apples with Anisian's victims. They endured something much different than I did. To draw parallels between them and myself, in my opinion, takes away from what they've endured and still live with, which isn't something I can relate to. So again, that is my fault entirely. So I do apologize personally to A-Star for presenting that information incorrectly, right? He did not do that in that thread. We went through his entire thread. He did not make that statement in the thread. I also am aware you had concern for my use of the word predator. This is the part where I start to disagree. To describe the source of my family's targeted harassment. And I didn't think I would have to clarify this, but I would hope most people, if not all, have the sense to realize that I mean the word in the literal definition when it comes to how my family and I were preyed on. Chris Hansen Predator Hunter moniker isn't exclusive to just catching child predators, but financial predators who scam people. And I think he felt he had a knack for catching any kind of predator he could in the act. So when Chris Hansen is there liking my dad's page with his own account the same day Gene wanted to terrorize me with my docs the day before posting about my father, I can only describe that as predatory behavior. Chris Hansen had no business looking into my family and then pretending not to know who I am in someone's DMs 5 days later. There's no two ways about it. If he tries to use that against me, I think he's going to have a hard time looking good trying to justify himself for his involvement with Gene's behavior behind a blanket of anonymity. Now, the first thing there, when he talks about, how Chris Hansen is a predator hunter and he's gone after financial predators and all that stuff. Look, you want to say like Chris Hansen sees himself as a predator catcher of all types of predators. Fair point. But the vast, overwhelming majority of people who know who Chris Hansen is only know him from To Catch a Predator, which is about catching child predators. That's why when I showed people your thread, A-Star, right? they didn't read the entire thing because, when you share the tweet, it shares the first tweet. So they read that first message. The first thing that they thought was you were Me Tooing Chris Hansen, right? Without reading the entire thing. And that's the issue, because when you talk about how, well, Chris Hansen's going to look bad and come across as bad and all this stuff. First off, that's if he even feels the need to respond to this, which I don't think you've established a strong enough case to make him do. But second, all he has to do is show your initial tweet and say you are harassing him by calling him a predator, right? And for the majority of people, they're going to think of it as you calling him a child predator. Now, I don't think you need to clarify it to me. I understand the point that you are trying to make. I read through your thread, right? I don't believe you are accusing him of Me Tooing you or anything like that. Don't take us the wrong way. I am saying that when you use that term, that is how the overwhelming majority of people are going to see it on first glance, and first impressions do matter, right? The first impression of that thread is some sort of sexual impropriety, that he is doing something to you of a sexual nature, just based on the first tweet. People who don't know you and just know of Chris Hansen, that's their initial interpretation. Now, it's eye-catching, and I respect you for wanting as many people to see your thread as possible. But, and this is going to come up a little bit later, Chris Hansen will absolutely not even address anything in your thread and just address that one point and paint it as you just being a drama baiter and someone looking to harass him and smear him online. And this is what these drama channels do, and show you on John Swan's channel and all this shit, right? And that's if you, and again, I don't think you've established enough to make him respond to it, because, well, a lot of us cheered on the Chris Hansen is over party trend. And I was I made like one or two tweets about it. Don't get me wrong. Chris Hansen private his account. It trended for less than 24 hours and then was immediately dead. No mainstream outlets picked up the story. No larger YouTubers got involved in the situation. It was basically dead on arrival. Okay? Because while the video is perfect red meat for someone like me, who's obviously biased against Chris Hansen, for the majority of people who aren't really that aware of the situation, it doesn't establish much, right? You portrayed a connection between Anonymous Gene and Chris Hansen. Perfect, right? What you never did was establish that Chris Hansen is directing Gene to do these things. Now, is it suspicious that Chris Hansen follows his dad's page at the same time that Gene is doxing him and everything? Yeah, absolutely. But what's Chris Hansen's response to that going to be, if he even feels the need to respond to it? I was given secondhand information that something was going to happen with this individual, that Gene was targeting them. I've heard of the things that Gene has done, and I wanted to keep myself aware of the situation because of X. He can portray himself as being an investigative journalist and doing investigative journalist things and nothing inappropriate, and his own fans are going to eat it up. Meanwhile, you're out there saying, no, this is proof because he followed my father's Facebook page. Imagine how that sounds to the average person who's not that well informed. I've proven it because he followed my dad's Facebook page. You're going to come across as legitimately nuts. Because I tried explaining this to my wife, right? I tried to explain it to my wife, this whole situation. And she was like, what? Like, I had to repeat it a couple times because she's not that aware of what's going on. So she's like, okay. And I'm like, baby, does that mean it's game breaking? And when I talk to someone who's like completely disengaged from it, she's like, whatever, couldn't care. Sure, it sounds bad and everything, but at the end of the day, you didn't establish key elements that you need to establish where you're going to say that Chris Hansen is your predator. I think you've proven that Gene is your predator, right? But you haven't proven that one established connection that you need to prove. So let me go into the next part right here. I understand that there is room for skepticism for some in how involved Chris Hansen may really be, but to me, I personally believe, based on what I know and what I provided, that he's pretty involved. And I agree. The fact that there are leaked DMs between Gene and Chris Hansen, which line up with his number, is pretty strong in my opinion. The fact that mine, John's, and others' accounts were all terminated for the same reason after those leaked DMs warning it would happen to intimidate us, support corroboration. Adding on top of that, a leaked DM to the head of Twitter comms gives me a very good reason to have this belief. With that said, I still understand your skepticism, and that's fine. I expect people to reserve the need for more information to come to their own conclusion. However, I hope you can understand why I believe there's a strong enough connection for me to think that. I want to be clear about something here, right? Chris Hansen and Gene were both talking about getting these accounts suspended, right? And well, if Augie was doing this to Diorio, or Diorio is doing it to Keemstar, or something of that nature, people who stand up against deplatforming and stand up for free speech and all this stuff, right? If one of them is doing it, then yeah, it's a terrible look. That's to me, that'd be game ending, right? Imagine being someone who stands against deplatforming and you're out there trying to get your critics taken off the platform. Disgusting and wrong. Chris Hansen is openly called to have channels demonetized because they do drama content. Chris Hansen in the Anisian documentary was talking about how these channels bring up his name specifically to drama bait people. He doesn't give a shit if you call him out for trying to get your Twitter account suspended. He doesn't fucking care. That's what he wants to do. I'm pretty sure he would own up to it and say, well, yeah, of course I said it. I was talking with my mods. I was talking to people on my server. I was very open about this, and I'm sure one of them told Gene. Or you say, like, he got the information from Chris Hansen. He goes, yeah, of course I did. I was pretty open with everybody because I find you guys problematic. Look at this guy, A-Star, who I said need to be suspended from Twitter, right? And here he is calling me a predator. He should absolutely be suspended from Twitter. This is why I'm telling you, be careful about the shit that you're saying, right? Because your thread justifies that first tweet, right? I'm not saying your entire thread, but that first tweet justifies Chris Hansen to his fans going after you and getting you deplatformed. Maybe you don't feel that way. Maybe you don't, and I understand it, right? But to Chris Hansen and his fans, they are obsessed over one thing. They don't care about deplatforming, they support deplatforming. They don't care about demonetization, they support demonetization. If you're going to call him a predator and shit like that, and then point out that he tried to get your Twitter accounts taken away, he'll just say, well, of course, look at the things that they say and do. You might think it's unfair. I understand and I agree with you. But this is what he does to people. He's a journalist. They're not fucking honest people. Hey, baby, I'll be to bed in a little bit. I need to take a bath. I'm sore from the gym this morning. I love you, babies. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Sorry, guys. Wife comes first. Wife comes first. We're working on working on the babies. What was the rationale behind suspending A-Star? I mean, he did an impression of Hansen, and some people fell for it. That was clearly parody, but I don't know if that was a reason to ban him permanently. Max, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. It doesn't matter to these people, right? Because look, there was no reason. There wasn't. He was just being critical of Chris Hansen, and Chris Hansen was a butthurt little bitch about it. 100%. He was being a butthurt little bitch about being made fun of by A-Star. So he wanted A-Star's account taken away, right? And sure, that's a bad look to me and to you and to most people who have fucking half a brain cell. To his fans, they don't give a shit. And not only that, but now he doesn't even need to justify his reason for wanting you suspended then, because all he has to do is turn around and point to you calling him a fucking predator right now and accusing him of preying upon you without strong enough evidence to support it, and say, I was right. I was right. I was right. He shouldn't be on Twitter. I might agree with A-Star. I might agree with John Swan's video. I might personally like John Swan's video and ask people to watch it. But I also have to acknowledge, right, that to me, right, I am extremely biased on this situation. And when I watch that video, it just justifies everything that I already think. But it does not back up the things it needs to back up. And one thing that annoyed me, and this is kind of where the whole like civil war with commentary between John Swan and these other commentary channels comes in, is John Swan goes on to accuse Augie and these other guys of giving Chris Hansen ammunition. And I'm sitting there going like, no, you idiot. These people are your friends. These people are pointing out the flaws with what you and A-Star are saying so you can better prepare yourself and maybe change course a little bit. Because if your own friends can point this out to you, I guarantee you, Chris Hansen and his rabid fan base are going to zone in on that, and they're going to absolutely mollywop you over the head with it. What's my wife saying? Hold on. Are you telling me about my uterus? Everyone mind your business. The baby. What are you guys talking about, Ty? Ty, what'd you say to my wife? What'd you say to my wife? Just want to tell you that Crows of Justice speaking. Shut up, man. Baby, don't listen to Ty. Don't listen to Ty. Okay, all right. So, yeah, this is not like a situation of, oh, man, I take massive issues with everything that they're saying, and I stand Chris Hansen. I think the guy's a weasel and a piece of shit. I absolutely do. But knowing he's a weasel and a piece of shit, I understand that what you are doing is only going to give that guy ample room to go out and crucify you and justify everything that he is saying and doing to get your guys' accounts taken away. Right? Because he supports it. He supports deplatforming. It was pretty clear to me that he supports it when he went on to talk about how he's going to get your channels demonetized. Like, I mean, to me, that was pretty damn evident. To you, I guess you haven't caught on. It's like, it's another thing when you're calling the guy a fucking predator and shit, to not understand that if he's all these things you're saying he is going to do these things to you. He is going to hurt you. He's going to cause harm to you. And he doesn't care how it looks to you, because all that matters is as long as his fans are happy. Well, that's what Lieutenant Kerber was saying, is that they hate A-Star and are using that against him. Who? Oh, let me see. They don't like A-Star, not friends. Sorry, Fish News, can you clarify that a little bit? Well, here, go ahead and clarify that for me, and I'll bring it up. Let's see here. But yeah, no, I agree that Chris Hansen was absolutely involved in getting them suspended from Twitter. I'm just saying, to him and his fan base, they support that. They actively support it. Chris Hansen is skillful in being able to spin things based off what I've seen. It's pretty slimy how he's done it. A good example is the infamous interview with Noah Ray, where the Goon Squad got their name with how he twisted Augie's show. More Pescator's tweet as well. If it's true, it only further solidifies the context behind what we reveal between Chris Hansen and Twitter staff, not leaked DM posted by Gene. We go on to that. He offers, he appreciates the offer to come on the show and everything. I want to skip over that part. If you haven't caught John's stream where he and I went over not just that thread, but additional info for the details, guys, please watch John Swan's channel about this situation and form your own opinion on it. Right? If you disagree with what I'm saying, I totally understand, because the thing is, I want to agree with A-Star and I want to agree with John Swan. It's just I also have to acknowledge that, being incredibly biased, it's easy for me to buy into what's being said, but at the same time, you haven't established the things that you are trying to establish. And if your big win on Chris Hansen is right, that he got your Twitter account suspended and he was in communication with Gene, well, fine. But that went on before you guys got doxxed. That happened before you guys got doxxed. So he could say, well, sure, I was in communication with the guy. That's before I found out he was nuts. When you acknowledge that the guy is good at spinning, right? When you, LW, let me just read this real quick. I can't believe what Gene did to John, though, with the news stories and his sisters. That shit was crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Gene is their predator. They've established Gene is their predator. But what they haven't established is that Chris Hansen was directing Gene to target them that way. Because he could say, like, yeah, of course I supported getting these guys taken off Twitter. Of course Gene was aware. I thought that was the best way of handling it, to take their platforms away, to stop the spread of misinformation. He can spin it. He can absolutely spin it. And the thing that frustrates me is, A-Star acknowledges that Chris Hansen is a weasel and will spin narratives, but then acts like it's not going to happen this time, right? especially to a loyal fan base that sees Chris Hansen as a fucking hero when they really shouldn't. And I think I even said, like, I don't think there's any way that A-Star didn't at least have the thought that people would get that whole, predator, child predator thing, reading the whole predator line in that first tweet, right? He denies it. That's fine. I think it's just something we're not going to agree on, right? But, I think it's absolutely something that Hansen can point to and say, like, yeah, of course I wanted them banned on Twitter, right? And I was willing to do anything because look at the things that they say about me and then point to A-Star calling them a predator, right? And now as far as like proving the connection between Chris Hansen and Gene, I think that they did do that. But the thing is, you cannot prove that Chris Hansen directed Gene to do any of this other stuff, including the doxing, including like the starting the fake news sites to smear John Swan as a pedo, the doxing of his sister, all that stuff. You didn't actually prove that Chris Hansen directed Gene to do any of that. And the thing is, you showed in your video Chris Hansen condemning Gene for doxing. So he could easily turn around and say, oh, I don't support what Gene has done. And when I get made aware of things that Gene might be doing, I feel as an investigative journalist, it's my responsibility to look into these situations and keep myself aware in case he does something else to somebody that I might not even know. Chris Hansen can absolutely portray himself as the fucking hero. And you can say, well, it's still suspicious. It's not enough, especially the people that love Chris Hansen, right? Like, that's the issue. So, we had a bit of a follow-up. Nothing really more comes up of it other than, I want to read this part. It is my belief Chris Hansen was working with Gene far more than he led onto whenever he was pressed to address his involvement. I hold this belief based on my evidence, and I will briefly explain why I feel convinced. The weeks leading up to being deplatformed on July 31st, Gene constantly threatened us that we'd be deplatformed. Again, right? The deplatforming takes place prior to the doxing and threats and the fake websites being set up on John Swan. I mean, Chris Hansen can just say, look, of course, we all supported deplatforming these people. We didn't support any of the other stuff Gene was doing. Or are you there? I think he was there. Hey, Aura.
What's up? No, yeah, I don't know what happened. It like opened two links and then the link canceled the other link out. So
you're good. Well, just to give you an update, we're actually almost done with the stream. It's going to be a short stream tonight.
Dope. I should have just stood off. So I'm fucking tired. All
right, so I'm reading through A-Star's response and everything. I don't think he gets it, right? Because
I remember you sent me his fucking response, and I'm like, I'm not reading it.
Well, because you're my co-host, and I want you to go over it with me.
I'm not reading it at all.
I know. I don't know why you don't. You're supposed to know this stuff.
No, dude, I took your word on it. I was like, I'm not reading it. It was not the night.
No, I get it.
Blast all that shit on me at once.
Look, I try to be fair in everything, and I try to acknowledge the shit that he's gone through and the shit that John Swan has gone through. I acknowledge my own bias on this stuff too, but it's like, if you think that you're going to own Chris Hansen by saying, like, he followed your father's Facebook page, imagine how that sounds to someone who's not aware of the situation and is not willing to give you the time of day over Chris Hansen, the brilliant pedo hunter.
Well, I saw there's one part where he's like, I do believe that, Chris Hansen is like, and I'm like, that's fair to believe it, but you didn't make that point, or you didn't like assess it well enough in your thread. The thread is like clickbaity. That's what it is. The first tweet is to catch your attention. It doesn't even mention Gene at all. Like, and then in the second tweet, he's like, watch John Swan's video, which you may or may not do. And people who don't know anything about the situation or who A-Star is, him naming Chris Hansen and then reading the predator is now my predator, it's going to get eyes on it, and they're not going to know what the fuck's going on unless they watch John Swan's video.
So another thing that he mentioned to me is, Gene is anonymous, so there's not much they can do to Gene.
Oh, is he?
Shut up. But then he goes like, but Chris Hansen isn't, and Chris Hansen is involved, so he's the guy they have to point out and target. And I go like, I don't disagree with your assessment there. It's just you have to establish that Gene was taking orders from Chris Hansen, or else it's a great video for people who support you and support that Chris Hansen's a creep and a piece of shit. It validates all of our beliefs 100%.
No, yeah, dude, look.
But you don't make that connection.
The video was a phenomenal video. It's a phenomenal
well
video.
edited. I mean, it is perfect.
It's a great video.
It lacks one thing, which is Chris Hansen directing Gene to do anything. Directing Gene to dox you, directing Gene to take over your Twitter account, directing Gene to make fake websites about John Swan, directing Gene to go harass your father. Now, I admit it looks suspect that Chris Hansen followed your dad's Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
Or liked it or whatever. Here, the only problem with that is you in John Swan's video, he plays a clip of Chris Hansen calling out Gene, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, shut up for a second. Dude, hold on. But he plays a clip of Chris Hansen calling out Gene, right? So Chris Hansen could easily say, hey, there was rumors within my community that Gene was about to target this one individual, and given the things we have known him to do, I felt it was my responsibility as a responsible investigative journalist to look into it and make sure nothing inappropriate happened. And is it bullshit to me? Do I believe that? No, not at all. Not at all. But will Chris Hansen fans and stans and the fucking rejects in the anti-O community absolutely suck his dick when he pretends to care? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think what's worse is like, you know, there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of circumstantial evidence. I'd say very reasonable speculation and very strong circumstantial evidence against Chris Hansen in the video and in A-Star's thread. Problem, right? Doesn't amount to anything. It's not going to get anybody who doesn't already agree with you on your side. And you know, if you try saying shit like, oh, well, you know, he followed my father's Facebook page and that's proof. It sounds nuts. It sounds nuts when you try to explain that in simple terms to people, right? So it's a bad move optics-wise. I don't know. Like, you got to trust that people are going to believe everything that you are saying, even though you don't establish anything. You haven't. As much as I agree that Chris Hansen comes across looking dirty as shit, how did he respond to this? He privates his Twitter account. You get a trend for half a day and everybody forgets about it. You need something stronger against this guy. You need something absolutely stronger against this guy. And that's and you know, when Augie is pointing out like A-Star calling Chris Hansen a predator looks fucking terrible, right? And John Swan immediately tweaks out on him and goes on about how, well, Pete, I'm ratioing him in every tweet. I'm like, yeah, because you got a larger fucking account than the guy. Of course you are. Of course you are. It's not hard to fucking see. All right, Ori, you've had a shitting grin on your face for a while now. What do you want to say?
Gina's anonymous.
Fuck you.
Stupid. That's fucking stupid. It's one of the stupidest things you've ever said. His name is Anonymous Gene. Like, what the fuck you mean?
Oh, like, okay. So guys, really, that is the video. I know it's not.
Bonza's gonna bounce back. You'll see.
Okay. You want to give any thoughts on Bonza?
He's gonna bounce back.
All right,
You'll
whatever.
see.
You want to give any?
You're gonna be like Bonza. Holy fucking, he's gonna be.
All right. Yeah. Did you watch any of the stuff that I was saying when we talked about Tipster?
No, I popped in like right when Sen showed up, like to pay attention.
Oh, look, I've not. I did not say anything like a personal shot at the guy, right? Because I don't want people like twist my fucking words on it. All I've said is like, dude, if you want to keep the guy blocked, right? Keep him blocked. Don't fucking rant about him for a week. Okay.
Xylee knows. Xylee knows. She can just read her comment.
Yeah, I see. Origami's tired. He don't give a fuck. Yeah.
That's a lot of things she knows.
But like, look, just to clarify stuff with Tipster again, because I don't want to be taken out of context or anything like that. If he just wants to keep Steve on block, he wants to keep me on block and everything, it's his prerogative to do so. Just stop talking shit about my friend behind a fucking block. Stop talking shit about his girlfriend behind the block. If you want to keep talking about him, at least talk to him. At
Tipster
least
can do whatever he wants. It's his Twitter. I know. He can share nudes if he wants. I wouldn't recommend it, but he should. He could if he wanted to.
I know. I'm just saying, like, as Steve's friend, all I can ask, right? It's the same thing I tweeted. Just have a conversation with the guy. Right? Work your shit out. If you really can't, then just keep each other on block, because I don't know. Like, I don't like seeing the shit that you said about him. Right? I don't think it's been fair. I think it's been wrong. You want to make the argument of, oh, he's disingenuous and dishonest and yada, yada, yada. Like, I pulled up your video. I pointed out where people could easily throw that argument in your face. I could throw it in your face. I just think that, you're being a bit emotional because Edwin's your buddy. Right?
Yes,
I think,
yeah.
And I pointed out, like, you told people like how wrong and disgusting you found it to read through his DMs and shit, but then you were telling people to go watch our stream. Like, dude, it's okay. We're all a little bit hypocritical. We all make mistakes. I think that was just a mistake you made. I think Steve's made some mistakes, but I think if you talk to the guy, it wouldn't be that fucking bad, right? But he's my buddy, and just like Edwin's your buddy, and you got to support him, I got to support my buddy. That's all that was. Right? I don't want someone taking out of context and saying like I'm fucking taking shots at Tipster or anything, because I don't need that fucking drama in my life.
Oh well, if you get it, that's on you. You should have fucking never even bothered with this dumb shit. A lot of people don't want to hear what you have to say. They don't like you. Just like they just don't like you, dude. It doesn't matter. Seriously, like honestly, if there's ever criticism on my Tipster, if you block anybody, just be done with it. If anyone sends you screenshots, be done with it. Especially if you're not feeling them. Like, I know you think Steve attacked your friend because that's what it looks like. If I have criticism for Steve, word your arguments better, because, I don't know what the fuck you mean half the time, and I have to talk to you to get your, like, perspective.
Yeah. I pointed out the tweet that he made right under DD's tweet where he replied to him and said flat out, people have used the N-bomb before and it doesn't make them racist, right? And that his main thing about Edwin was, like, he was calling people an anti-Semite, and there you go. Because I'm going to talk about him. Of course I put him in the thumbnail. I'm talking about him.
Oh, shit. Is that why bully bullies?
Yeah.
Dude, yes, I did. I put Tipster in the thumbnail because he has the guns and shit. I thought it looked cool.
I mean, like, dude, you could have
cool?
made... I don't know. Like, it's a pretty good image, actually. Well,
Dude,
Aura put the thumbnail together. Yeah, and I said just include Tipster in it because I was going to bring up the stuff with this one going back and forth on Twitter.
Dude, there's only 2 good pictures in there, and it's Nick and Tipster. The rest are
who is I Bully Bullies?
I Bully Bullies?
Yeah.
He's on Twitter. I believe he's like, I don't know. He could be a friend of Tipster. The fuck is that? Yeah, I'll check that in a minute.
Is that Seppuku?
It could be, but I'm
not going to go take care of him before he dies.
Fuck him. Like,
do you want to tell everybody about Seppuku?
Oh yeah, see, look, yeah, I Bully Bullies. It's him, yeah. What's up, I Bully Bullies? Yeah, I think he's friends with Tipster. Yeah, there's no bad. Well, I don't know. I'm speaking on my behalf. There's no bad blood.
No, dude, there's not. Okay, yeah. There's not. Look, again, the only reason why I even brought it up is because you see someone taking constant shots at one of your friends, right? I tried to keep my mouth shut about it. I did, but it just hasn't stopped. And then he brought up his girlfriend and shit like that. I'm like, dude, enough's enough. I pointed out where I thought he was where he was wrong, right?
Yeah.
And if you feel like that's unfair, feel free to tell me it. You can contact me on Twitter or anything. You can contact me on Discord. You can point out that you think I'm a fucking idiot. I don't care, right? I could say the nastiest shit about Tipster. I shitpost on Twitter. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the point of bringing that up. My only thing is like, dude, try to talk to the guy, or just like Aura said, keep him blocked and just be done with it. Just choose one.
And I mean, it's better on everybody's like. I don't know. I thought it'd just be chill and shit, but whatever. No one has to take my advice. What the fuck do I know anyway? I just wear a hoodie and make thumbnails occasionally, which I like this.
They're good thumbnails. Dude, I love that you put the Captain America shield because I was thinking Captain America Civil War too.
I had a feeling that's what you would want. And then I was like,
yes.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you to straight up rip off the movie poster and just put commentary people's heads on all the fucking faces.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's garbage. Like, I knew you were going to tell me to do that. So I made like a My Hero Academia, version. Like, that's kind of what it is. Like My Hero Academia. Like Tipster had the best picture. So I'm like, I can't not put that one in. He had the fucking gun,
honestly,
bro.
He does.
He does. Like, and then the second best one is Nick DiOrio because he looks like fucking Dr. Octopus. Like fucking John Swan. I got the evil picture of John Swan. Because his fucking hands look like blades and shit. Bonds is gonna bounce back. Don't shit on the Bonds.
Not going to bounce.
He's gonna bounce back.
Well, not from the shit that he did with me. Not from that shit he did with me.
Yeah, king side on yourself. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. That's what's up, Latchkey. Good shit. I do. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I don't think you're an idiot. Well, thank you, buddy. Like,
are you sure, bullies? Like, are you really sure? You just said anonymous Gene was anonymous. Like, fucking.
No, I was pointing out what fucking. Shut up, dude. I was pointing out what A-Star had told me. The reason why he feels he's got to highlight Chris Hansen is because Chris Hansen's the one that's not anonymous.
Typical.
He's the guy that they can actually point to.
Throwing.
That's what he said to me. God damn it! I'm reading his fucking response. I'm getting shit for it.
You should have read that. See, is that why you sent it to me? Like, that was a stupid thing to say. Don't read that out loud. Is that why?
No, I feel stupid.
Did you think about it after you said it, or like in the middle of while you said it? I want to know the exact moment of impact when you're like, "This is the dumbest shit I could have said."
Shut up. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Gene is anonymous.
Gene is anonymous. Everybody, one in chat. If Gene is anonymous, we need to fucking come to a conclusion tonight. I won't be able to.
Latchkey got point. I was ready for freaking war on here. Crow comes on. I'm just kidding. Dude, the person I gave it hardest to was fucking Bonza.
Bonza, the Bonds, leave Bonds alone. God damn it.
I agree. Chris Hansen's a massive piece of shit.
Yeah,
right.
Look, Gene is anonymous. Everyone agrees. I am Gene. It's Grim Hades. Oh no! We were so wrong. He's not as anonymous as we thought. I fucking froze.
Okay. He'll probably be back. But guys, we're going to be ending it here. I want to just say to the members of the channel, we are getting the next artwork commissioned. As soon as it's up, I'll make it available to all of you. But as I've said, we're doing a special thing now. To the people who have joined, you get a shout out on the weekly streams. I really do appreciate the memberships and everything. But let me just say a special thank you to War on Corruption, YouTube Made Great Again, Alpha Russ Official, and Carson Speaks. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support that you've shown us. And to everybody else who's a member in the Scarecrow tier, like I said, everybody's going to get access to the artwork that we use for our thumbnails. We're already commissioning the next piece. It's going to be snow themed because I'm currently trapped in a snowy area, and this is the first time in my life I've actually had to deal with that. So I'm looking forward to it. But guys, anything you disagree with me on, right? Drop a comment onto the live stream upload. I'll be uploading the video talking directly to Bonza probably tomorrow. I've got some other videos coming up. Did you know Marilyn Manson is being accused of abusing somebody? Ah, man. It's going to be a fun day tomorrow. I'm sure it will. Anyways, guys, that's the end of the stream. Thank you so much. I need to go take care of some business. And positivity turtles in the chat, right? Positivity.